showed up against Knives Out, and each defensive map is just flying through. Priya, did you have any highlights or favorite moments?
A couple favorite moments is when there was a couple of thrifty rounds coming out from Knives Out. They did win, I think, 2 thrifties from that map. So you never know with that stinger buff as well. Like you can see how well it's actually going in game. So that's a bit of a fun moment. But I think definitely when you see the initiated players from 1 millisecond wombat like Jupiter and also Cloud Noise's frag out. I just love seeing that from them because initiator players on top. You're being like a supporter and also a fragger as well. So those were a couple of moments that I can think of.
And Zach, how about you? Any highlight moments, any recaps you'd like to share?
Highlight moments, I think for me would have to be Cloud Noises on defense, just constantly walking up by herself into the attacker spawn and finding 3 kills off the back of that. That and Aaron Tao just going ham with the operator. Both of them were the highlights for me on that particular map. But like Priya was saying, I really like how initiators are finding increased value more and more. Like I remember how when Sova was the pick of choice, like he was when we were still going for that solo initiator meta, and Sova was the only agent that people were really playing. We were like, yeah, I'm just gonna play for my shock dodge and my drone and my ult and whatever else I have. But with KO and Fate coming in, the utility kit that they have, it really enables them to play super aggressively and, like Priya said, frag out. So that is something to watch. And I think that on this particular map, one more thing that I'd like to really recap is the sheer difference in the amount of map control that both of these teams played for. Like 1 millimeter in particular, they 1 millisecond, I'm sorry, yeah, they were not afraid to go in for a lot of map control, whether they were on attack or defense. You always saw that their players were scattered across the map, and they were always constantly getting that information coming in. They were caught off guard very few rounds on the defense when they left the B side open. That was usually because of a woman disadvantage, but most of the time I felt like they just controlled the map so much better than their opponents.
Absolutely, and honestly, just adding on, I was on Knives and just giving some surprise shots to their own teammates. I love that. It was just like, hey, like be wary of me being behind you. I'm on your left, I'm on your right. You don't know where I am. I'm just somewhere. I'm here. I'm at CT. But anyways, what strats do you think worked for 1 millisecond that made them win?
I think going full ham, to be honest. Whenever they did a full exec onto whatever site it may be, A, also towards mid as well, when they just save their utility in the early round and just full exec towards the start, they usually won it out because they were just so aggressive. And we saw with those 5 first bloods from Ares, was it Ares?
It was both Ernthau as well as
Ernthau as well. Yeah, because they were just taking so much space just with their they were just so aggressive as a team, and that's actually what won them out, just having those confident aggressors in your squad.
Absolutely. They were ready for a full-on Thanksgiving feast, but going into match 3, we also have Superior versus Celestial from groups. They're both top 8 and 9 in seeding. Let's go ahead and check out the map that they chose. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Ascent. Oh, look
no.
what it is!
You jinxed it.
Oh my god!
Who
would have thunk it?
Curse, I hear.
Yes, Saki has stricken, and it is going to be Ascent that we're going to be seeing yet again today. And I would be very resentful of it, but honestly, I don't mind as much because both the games that we've seen so far, despite them being on the same map, it felt like very, very different kinds of gameplay to me. So hopefully we'll see something along those lines.
For sure. Like both games, there were very different play styles from the teams, so they look like different games. Especially from 1 millisecond wombat, they were the most aggressive team that we've seen as of yet. So hopefully that we see a little bit, maybe like a much slower game, more default heavy. But that will be dependent on the team comps that they do choose.
Absolutely, and something I have to say is not every single game is going to be the same just because we're on Ascent. We're most definitely going to see different play styles coming in and just a whole nother universe to probably cast on. Who knows, we'll have another Killjoy shooting at another teammate, or seeing so many clutches come in, some TikTok lineups, just everything and everything around it. Anyways, I do believe that Asian Select should be ready. Let's go ahead and get a check on that. And if it is, Zach and Josie, do you have any final comments before we go into it?
I think that we should talk a little. I think that I'd like to talk about one of the teams that we are going to be seeing, which is Celestial. And again, they're a team that's been around in the scene for a while. They did actually play quite well in the August Academy, and they just lost because they went up against Solaire, which is one of the strongest teams in the circuit. So I think that all the times they played on Ascent, it's been incredibly close, and we can expect a really good performance coming in from them.
Great, and now we are ready for Agent Select. So Priya, Zach, you two have fun on Ascent again, and I will see you later.
Thank you so much, Tang. And now we will be going once again to Ascent. Very familiar team comps we are seeing once again. So familiar.
Oh
I don't know. I possibly could have seen them before. But even though they are similar team comps, we just don't know what their playstyle will be like, especially on the side of Superior and also Celeste as well. They did previously run actually a
Killjoy.
Omen. Yeah, they ran a previous meta team comp, and now they're changing it up just a little bit. Beforehand, their team comp was more so the Sova, KO, Jet, Killjoy, and Omen, and instead now they're opting for an Astra, and they're taking out that Killjoy as well. So we'll see how that maybe changes things. They did win that map that they did play their previous comp on, versing Harmony. So I'm kind of curious as to why they have changed things. Maybe a difference in playstyle or anything like that. But still, a solid comp at that. Whereas on the side of Superior, we've seen this tried and true team comp. Especially, we've seen it. We know all the combinations that you can go, and it's very, very aggressive as well. Whereas Celeste's team comp is more so pretty passive, apart from the Jet.
Yeah, it's basically a mirror matchup at this point, with the exception of that duelist coming in for both of these teams. But you talked a little bit about how the meta has changed, and how you do see the Killjoy being replaced increasingly by teams that used to run her by this chamber. And I think I brought this up in the beginning of this cast here, but I think that could be majorly attributed to her utility just being destroyed by every single initiator on the planet. Sova shock darts, yes. KO fragment, yes. Raise paint shells, yes. Anything you toss at that poor lockdown, it gets immediately shut down, and it just makes life so much more difficult. Also, with most teams picking up that KO, hold that thought. Speaking of KO, it is going to be a quick push a really quick push towards that short area. Though it is going to be Spicy who finds that first pick and still holds strong for the defense. Ditchy there for the backup as well, getting the second on the round. And right, just like that, this attack from Celestial goes so strong here. They are able to get the spike down, and they are looking at a 3v5 retake right now. Superior not exactly in what you'd call an ideal position here. They do have some things to work with though, including that Prowler as that's really nice.
Yeah, nice timing coming out with that Prowler, catching the Sova out off guard. Now it's left Pateo in a 1v3. Two players on Bhop Celeste are super low HP, and she does secure that first 1v1, but Legemjes is going to close things out. I'm struggling with these names.
Yeah, but we should just probably read through them mentally, because potato. Every time I read her name, that's exactly
oh my
what
gosh,
I'm gonna want to say.
potato.
Yeah. Potato. I see what you mean. It can lead to some confusion there. But nevertheless, a great round coming in from Celestial. They are going to be upgrading as well. 5 Spectres online right now. However, the last time the fullback gave in, the Thrifty did work out for the defender. So perhaps we'll be seeing a possible repeat of that if Celestial are not careful about it. They're going to be heading in with the help of both the knife as well as the drone into the side here. There is, however, the Astra just lying lying in wait towards this lane area to find some value, though it's not gonna be she's not gonna be finding anything, unfortunately, as the three-prong push comes in towards the side. They clear out TT, market, and lane simultaneously. That's a beautiful push.
Yeah, so well timed together. The spacing was on point completely, especially with the players pushing out in B main as well, and it completely overwhelmed the players of Superior. Now, they're left in a 2v5, really. All they can do is just a little bit of damage, possibly, especially with Calcium being on 57 HP. Versing these all 5 Spectres, Alyssa jumps up and peeks as well, takes down the KO player. Now, it's that full buy round for Superior and the bonus for Bhop Celeste, so this can change the tides for the first half.
This is a round in which Superior would be looking to win, but the way that Celestial is playing this, they're taking no prisoners. They're just charging, full sending
really
it forward, and yeah, they're finding value off of it too. Like they've been able to win out every single aim deal consistently, both with advantage and on equal footing. This time though, is going to be at a disadvantage, like you mentioned, with only Spectres to work with against those rifles. Again, the patience coming in. We saw them getting super aggressive, but expecting perhaps this combo or just waiting for a push coming in from Superior, they managed to completely dodge that dangerous bit of utility.
I like this little bit of change of pace here from Bhop Celeste, how they are slowing things down just a little bit, but they are on a bit of a lower buy, so playing very far back might actually not go in their favor, especially when Superior are just holding down. But Alyssa is going to spot one in hell, but Calcium does come through, but that Spectre run and gun from Legamus actually comes through, but oh my god, that was so close for Alyssa. Very heavy damage, but Misa does actually trade things out, and that lurk coming out from Spicy towards mid comes through as well. Now it's left Bhop Celeste in a 2v3 here. The spike is dropped in a very difficult space as well, where Potato is holding a little bit of whiffage, but she does recover that spray. Now it's left Spicy in this 1v3, gets cleared up by Moki, and that was the full buy round. It was looking a bit spicy there for Bhop Celeste. They were getting actually the opening picks, but once Superior just recovered the trades, they were able to trade things out with the better weaponry. And now we go into this 4th round.
Yeah, looking at this particular one, it is going to be the fullback kicking in for both of these teams. The side of Superior losing 2 players as well is going to force one of them to play with just light armor, but considering that everybody on the server is rocking these Vandals, it's not going to make a huge difference heading into this one. This time around, the push is towards mid, and Misa is ready for it. Gets the first, but is not able to rendezvous out because it's out of range, I believe, and is immediately going to be traded out. Things back up to a 4v4 right now, and it seems like Celestial, they haven't exactly decided where they want to go. Whether they want to opt for this A short push or go through market towards B instead. B does seem to be where the spike is heading though, so that might be where we see the exit coming in as well.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate that the chamber dies first as well, because that's that trip. That's that little bit of line of defense that you don't need to go through anymore for the side of Bhop Celeste, and they will be just running up towards mid, but there is one player on Superior holding down backside and always has to be the one to hold things down here. She is going to get pinched from 2 sides. A nice pop flash coming through, and she's going to actually capitalize off it. Now, they're kind of stored from this player, always sitting in backside, and it's going to be really rough to go through, always with another as well. And the support from her teammate going to trade out Calcium. And oh no, a little bit of whiffage though, but that was always holding down the back of B's side and waiting, just stalling time for her teammates to actually rotate towards B and support her.
I do not know how that player got to there, but a beautiful performance coming in on the defense from the side of Superior, who it did indeed come out superior. And they're going to be pushing Celestial into an eco here. They do have the tour de force to work with for Spicy, and we've seen the kind of devastation which that particular weapon can wreak, of course. They also do have the null command available if they choose to commit it, though I don't think we'll really be seeing that one coming through. Gumdress is also only 2 away from that Blade Storm, so perhaps if they can get a pick or two, maybe pick up that orb to make things easier, it might be the ult that they really need to try and win this game, because we saw this in the previous matchup, just the Blade Storm able to find so much value in converting a thrifty for the attackers. It might be what they need.
Misa is holding towards mid, and if she does get this opening pick, she will have that tour de force to use into this round to hold things down. But Potato with that jump pick is going to spot the likes of Litchi and a frag grenade as well, but always with a spam, going to actually take down Litchi with the help of a frag grenade as well. Spicy does at least get takes down the chamber, so there goes that possible tour de force in this round, and it's all basically up to Spicy here to get these opening picks and hopefully win out the round for Superior.
I think that Alyssa might be able to pick up this rifle unless it's been rescued already by Moki. However, the push is going to be coming up short at both the Prowler as well as the Sound Keys are going to give away information that A is where the execute is heading right now. Calcium is on site trying to hold down the fort with the help of Moki. Spicy though finds a second on the round as well, and these two players are just doing their best to stall as much as possible. Finally, Spicy gets shut down, and off the back of the tour de force going down, it is going to be Keltrium on cleanup duty, finding the last 2 picks as well. Spicy, you have to give her credit there. What looked like a completely impossible round almost was made doable just with the help of that tour de force and the 3 kills that she managed to find. But looking at the ultimates available for Superior right now, they are on a roll, and it seems like they can continue to do so because they have the tour de force available for Misa, but they also have that Cosmic Divide available for the retake as well as the Nightfall. So these are some major ults to watch out for from their side. For Bhop though, they're also exposed to some of their own.
Yeah, exactly. But the ultimate economy is on the sides of Superior, but the spray from always through the smoke is going to catch Alyssa's forehead, and actually there goes that a little bit of that initiator util for the attack, but Bhop Celeste is going to be allowed B side, and a retake is going to come through. A Horns, Nightfall, and also a nade. Not going to catch too many people. Misa with the tour de force, going to drop down and take one with her always, and Potato clearing down B side. A beautiful retake coming out from Superior.
Again, like just the coordination on this particular round, it has to be talked about. Misa clears
so
out lane. It was beautiful, like the Cosmic Divide towards the backside to lock out boats and isolate the fight. The Showstopper as well to clear out space. Everything, all 3 ultimates were used in perfect conjunction by Superior to make that round work, and they do it in style. I think that they expected the aggressive push coming in from Celestia as well off the back of their null command, and they were happy to just give up the site for free. I know that they did get a smoke criminal kill through onto I believe it was the Astro. I'm not exactly sure.
It was on the server. It was on the server.
Yeah. So they get that pick to make that. That's just the icing on the cake, though. Like, they were ready for it. They knew heading into this that we're gonna give them the site. We're gonna retake it just like this. They plan. They execute. Game, set, match.
Exactly, and now that they've actually called a timeout, Bhop Celeste does have 3 pivotal ults to use in this round, that Hunter's Fury and also the Cosmic Divide and the Knives, to possibly get that opening pick to clear things out onto the A site. You can be a lot more faster, especially with the Blade Storm available, so I would like to see maybe a full exec coming out from Bhop Celeste.
Heading into this round, I'm not sure how exactly it's going to go, whether we're going to see those ults being really committed or not, because it is going to be a half by coming in, 3 stingers. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of scared for Superior.
Right?
Unless they,
you never know.
Take those. You never know, especially, you know, if you let those stingers get in your face, like, they can be just devastating right now. Always is going to get some info, be suppressed in turn. Know that there are two players coming up towards him. Sound cues towards Cat as well are going to be giving away a lot of information. This execute is
that frag
relatively
nade.
quick, but oh no, the fragment is going to be the first pick coming in for the round here. Holy.
One enemy remaining.
Always holding down onto tree, and that's the advantage of having a KO holding down in tree, is that they have so much stall utility. And always, I swear, always is always aware Bhop Celeste is actually going towards, like when they were going towards the B site, she was sitting in backside B. When they're going towards tree, she's holding down in tree. So always has that game sense, or whatever it is, and the pop flash gonna come through as well to secure a 4K, and that's 4 ult points towards that null command as well.
Yeah, I think Always only used it the last time around as well. The fact that they already have more than half of it online is just testament to what a skilled player she's proving out to be for the team here. Also, the economy right now looking incredibly strong for Superior. They also do have that showstopper ready to go yet again from Keltium. So that's gonna be an ult that Celestial really need to watch out for. Talking about also, they have some of their own this time around as they look to possibly make this round work off the back of that. However, with that Prowler, Misa is able to get a really aggressive position towards B main.
Yeah, I hope she aggresses even more instead of that a little bit further angle. And she is actually going to push and hold that more aggressive angle, and beautiful from her. That's kind of reminded of like Ye, how he plays so aggressively on the chamber. You need to hold those angles as that agent, and she does actually get rewarded for it. Mookie though, holding down in market, is going to get taken down by Alyssa, going to help clear things out in B main, but they do know there is a chamber holding onto the B side, so instead they are going to be pushing onto A, where they will be meeting a couple players. Superior does have quite a lot of map control though, both mains just held by them, and that's going to be absolutely pivotal, especially for a retake coming through. But they will be executing onto the A side, and then unfortunate for them. They had such a good possible retake, but they decided to instead fast retake, and they do actually get the spike stop from planting. Now it's 17 seconds on the clock, and Keltium is holding very, very pivotal position here. She does have 2 satchels to use, and she will satchel towards Jenny. She knows that both players are holding here, and beautiful from Calcium. A 4K to hold things down for Superior. So well played from her. Now 6-2 for Superior. Beautiful round though from Calcium. So well played from her.
Like you mentioned, Priya, the fact that she was able to have that main control proved to be extremely pivotal in this particular round. And of course, that entire kit, Raze is made for doing damage, and that's exactly what she does with it. The showstopper finds the first, the bait shell stop the plant of the spike, and with the help of the satchel, she's not only able to do damage, but also mask her repositioning noise as she makes her way onto the site. And the players just line up. A really unfortunate round for Celestial down there. They had every single advantage going into it, but it just did not work out because of the heroics of one particular player, which is Keltium. Heading into this round, after that, it's gotta be a damage to your morale. You also don't even really have the economy to work with either, as you're gonna be pushed into yet another broken buy. So Celestial, they don't exactly have a lot going for them in this particular round, but you never know. The Stingers, like you mentioned, can prove to be devastating, but the first obstacle that they're gonna have to face is none other than Keltium herself, the woman, the myth, the legend. But unfortunately, doesn't check her corners.
You talked her up too much. But now as they gain a bit of side control here in A, there is a bit of a lurk happening towards B, and might cause a pivot. Oh, nice collapse shot coming out from Misa there. But it is a bit of a safe round from Bhop Celeste, but they are making it quite expensive here. Misa is holding the angle here, and a little bit of jiggle peek there from Legamus, but Tamoki is holding in heaven. Spicy has made a round well trip from B to A and doesn't get anyone, unfortunately for her. Superior now, they're rolling off this momentum here.
Yeah, they're just stringing this round together. Look at that scoreboard. They've had 7 in a row so far,
Yeah.
and they just look unstoppable right now on this defense. I think that a timeout would be a good idea for Celestia at this point, if not to point out strats, at least to try and try and break the momentum coming in from the side of Superior here. But talking about Superior this particular round, they yet again have the null command ready to go from always. I think that she popped it like 2 or 3 rounds ago, but it is going to be available right now. Another thing to note is the operator of Misa, this time being positioned towards this diamond area here. However, with the help of the smoke, it is going to be first blood finally going in favor of Team Celestial.
Yeah, and they really need those first bloods, but Lagamis is going to get punished for being all on her lonesome, but they will get traded out by Lychee at the very least, and now they have B-side control. Superior in a 3v4, but Bhop Celeste has so much util to use in this post plant. They have that Hunter's Fury, they have the null command as well, once again already up, and this is going to be very, very rough, but so much utility here for Moki, the nade, and also Haunt going to possibly scan them, but will get destroyed immediately. Calcium going to clear out B main, knows that there's going to be at least 3 of them on site, and the beautiful Prowler and Beast are going to capitalize off that, going to get 2 at the very least, but Astra 3K coming out. Bhop Celeste, they finally win one of their rounds and going to stop that win streak coming out from Superior.
Yeah, and it was almost a false round as well. Like they walk out with 3 players still standing, so that's going to at least help out their economy. They also managed to hold on to and build up on a lot of the ults. They kept the Hunter's Fury. They have the null command ready to go for this particular round, and they also have that Cosmic Divide. So we might be seeing a very quick exec with the help of that null command, which has happened before. I think that perhaps Superior has realized that their B controller is not exactly something that's desirable. So they're gonna be pushing up. Yeah, putting up 3 players here. Misa will be forced off the angle, but look at A. They managed to completely clear it out, so they know that B is where the push is going to be coming eventually.
Yeah, they do. And also that null command is going to leave Misa completely ruined.
no.
Beautiful util usage coming out from Bhop Celeste. That Gravity Well and also the Hunter's Fury in combination completely overwhelming Misa, taking her down and out of the round, leaving Bhop Celeste in a one-man advantage. Now, Alyssa holding down B main by herself. The Cosmic Divide is going to allow her that 1v1 as Moki is going to at least trade things out. Superior has the null command to use into this round as they will get suppressed for a moment to hold things back. And also this Cosmic Divide is so rough to push. And now as the spike is ticking down, the Nebula not going to tag anyone just yet. And Potato is going to get 4-3. Absolutely huge from Potato. A 3K at that. And giving Superior one more round, helping him roll off this momentum. And that's her second multi-kill there in a row.
Yeah, I think the last time that she was in this clutch situation, she wasn't able to really push through it, but this time around it was perfect. Like just the utility usage and the crossfire, being able to isolate these fights, and even that last kill, if you notice, like when Spicy came running towards her, she was hit by that pole, so she was vulnerable, which makes taking her out much easier. So a great play coming in from Potato. Off the back of that, she will be having her Cosmic Divide ready to go, and in this particular round here, I think that both teams will have the economy. It's just that Superior, they have a little bit more when it comes to ultimates available for them to really make this round work. And yet again, this aggression that they're putting towards this A main area already, Vine's control being taken by Keltium, as well as the KO to back her up. It's going to make pushing into this so difficult right now.
Oh, they did get the orb at the very least to make that tour de force come online. And I think that's all they really wanted. They just wanted to hold things down, but Misa has a tour de force of her own, going to take down Spicy. And there goes such a pivotal weapon into this round. They are really low on economy as well, so this is the bit of half shields is going to be a little bit more rougher to work with. Misa is going to get smoked off with the Nebula here. But it's up to Legamus as well to get that opener, but...
Oh no.
Oh, Calcium wants the kill here. Double satchel is gonna come through. Oh, that was actually pretty close, but Misa going to actually catch Alyssa off guard. She gets punished for outdroning out in the open by herself. But now it's left Bhop Celeste in such a rough spot here. Legamus has threaded the needle though and can possibly take down Misa. Oh, that would have been so unfortunate for her if Misa actually caught her out with that tour de force pull out time. But Sarah does get the plant down. She does have a Spectre in this round, so a bit of lesser weaponry. But it's all up to Legamus to really actually make the plays. Moki is going to catch one player with the Prowler in the smoke, but Potato actually comes through with just complete spam right through the smoke. Sarah has made a little bit of sneaky plays here, but Calcium with a very nice flick. Going to make Superior actually get the 9-3 curse here.
Oh no! Now we've done it. We're looking at overtime. We've done it. But jokes apart, you know, that was a really beautiful round coming in from Team Superior yet again. Just the retake, though, you have to give Sarah some credit. Like, she pushed through the smoke. I think that she and I believe it was always just walked past each other there in the smoke.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward moment, and then Sarah's like, "Wait a minute, I'm sure I saw something." Turns around, gets that kill, but is not able to close out the remaining players with just the help of the Spectre and 21 HP. So Celestial, their first goal should be to try and convert this pistol round. They are gonna be on defense, and Ascent is a map that is noted to be rather defense favored. Also, looking at their stats, I think that they do have a much better defense percentage on Ascent. They have 64 compared to 36. So perhaps they might be able to bring it back here.
Possibly, but we will have to find out, especially with this round. If they lose it, then it's going to look really, really rough for the second half. And a very fast take coming out from Superior is going to get flashed completely by Lycian. Beautiful at that, and Alyssa gonna clear things up with the lineup and also a shot to the Oya's head. And beautiful round though from Celestial. So fast from them, clearing out the site and very well coordinated to hold things down in the defense, in the defensive half for them. And now they will buy up. Spicy will have the Marshal in this round, so body shots, you can just body shot everyone and get a lot of kills from that. But it's going to look like a 4-stack towards the B site for Superior.
Yeah, they're just gonna, you know, they know they have the weapons for it. They know that, you know, they have to try and push together to really try and get those trades possible. They are gonna be going in for a little bit of mid control, surprisingly. However, the Spicy with the Marshal is going to be finding that first blood yet again onto Misa. Chamber versus Chamber. This time around, it is going to be Spicy who falls out Superior. That Joan from Alyssa, though, going to get spotted at least 2 players towards this B market area, and they know that B is where the exec is coming in. It seems like Superior will be able to at least get the spike down for free, as Celestial let them have the site, though they haven't found any frags yet.
Yeah, I really like how smart Bhop Celeste is playing, especially with the better weaponry. So they're just gonna allow them to take the B site and retake as a 5. But they aren't really checking in logs, and always is going to actually get rewarded for holding them. Moki as well with the 2K, as with a classic in hand. Free gun, by the way. And Legamus is going to whip all his shots. Is this a win for possibly Superior? Thrifty round. Potato with the right click, closing things out. And as I was saying before, Bhop Celeste, even though they made the right move, they just lost all their gunfights on the retake. It was a bit disjointed there.
Yeah, a lot of utility being tossed out in the open. They just weren't ready for the peaks coming in. They didn't check their corners. They got a little bit careless, and this is what we've seen quite often, right? When you do look at these anti-ecos coming in, you tend to get sloppy. We talked about how in the first map today, the team didn't do that, but unfortunately for Celestial, they get a little bit too over eager for the retake, and they're made to pay for it. You don't mess with a team like Superior when they've shown time and time again that they're consistent, that they are able to capitalize. But heading into this particular round, it does seem like Bhop, they want to get a little bit aggressive towards both mid and B. The peek out is going to at least gain a little bit of information here as to where it's that there are multiple players towards B main. But unlike the rest of the team...
not again.
Oh, never mind. They don't
Not
check the corner either. 3 for Alyssa.
3 for Alyssa. Check logs, guys. Check logs. Always check logs. There's someone there most of the time. Always does at least clear Alyssa out from her position. But Alyssa has made this round pretty winnable though. 2v2 and a complete save at that. So there is that Nightfall for Moki to use in this post plant, and she may invest it. A nice seize is actually going to catch 2 from Celestial, going to slow down this retake all the more, but always is really low HP. Nice pop flash coming through, but Sarah is completely blind, but the shots do not connect as Bhop Celeste win out their full buy round.
It's okay. I would be speechless too. That's gonna be yet another thrifty, but going in for the opposite team here. And you know, breaking down that round, you do see 2 players from Celestial getting a little bit eager towards B. They get the information, they fall back, and I like how Spicy was just baiting on site for Alyssa, making so much noise, being like, "Hey, look, I don't have a gun. I'm helpless. Come kill me. Don't check logs. It's okay." And
Don't check logs.
They take the bait, they go slinging in, and Alyssa with just a ghost somehow gets 3 in that position. Off the back of that, does have the Hunter's Fury available for this round as well. And Bhop, they are going to be they're also going to be having a full buy and the operator to boot.
Yeah, Alyssa with a beautiful hero play in logs was able to secure the round and make things hopeful for Bhop Celestial's comeback, especially it being 10-5. So they have 5 more rounds to possibly win through to even things out. Spicy is holding towards mid with an operator. He's going to spot 1, and ooh, nice shot coming out from Potato. Absolute Deagle Demons, and they do know Litchi is holding in the left corner. The flash is going to help her reposition, and Legamus is also going to support Itchy just behind, as Superior will pivot towards mid now, as there is 1 player, Alyssa, holding in CT, but she may get caught out with the dart out. The dart actually does scan Moki just a little bit, and Spicy is there to also support Alyssa with the operator in case anyone tries to get overzealous there. But looks like Bhop Celeste are clearing things out. They do not want to lose another thrifty round, and they win things out now 10-6. They're making this comeback look doable.
I like how Moki was just like, it's a 1v4, you know what, I only have a sheriff, I don't really have much of the HP, I'm just gonna get the spike plant down and get my team some extra money heading into our full buy next time around. I like that policy coming in from her there, but Superior, they are gonna be able to buy up again, and I think that perhaps knowing this is going to be why Bhop opt to go in for this timeout. They are at a bit of a round deficit. They are 4 behind, and even though they managed to put up a really strong defense so far, they want to really try and maintain it going forward, and this round is going to be very crucial because it is going to make or break at least one team's economy, and you know, they really want to try and keep Superior from getting the same kind of momentum that they had in the previous half, so it's a good timeout.
Yeah, it really is, and with them stopping this kind of momentum from even starting in the first place, they can actually decide what they want to do and see how they can actually win things out, because they've been doing really well with the Bhop Celeste has been doing really well when it comes to the retakes. So maybe we can see more of that possibly, but there are some pings coming out, so they're looking to possibly go and hold down mid and maybe maintain that mid control there, as they know Superior loves actually going towards mid, and maybe they're looking to actually take down the Chamber, who is mostly known to hold maybe tiles or top mid there. But it's a 3-2 split. The spike will be towards the B site. And maybe a bit of a default coming out from Superior.
Yeah, they do seem like they want to take it a little bit slow here, not wanting to get punished right off the bat, which is a good call because it is going to be spicy with the operator holding down B main. But talking about getting aggressive, it's going to be Alyssa who pops that Hunter's Fury right off the bat, but doesn't really connect it, I think, with any of the players from Superior. So that's going to be a major ult that's been taken offline. Just like that, again, just going for the jiggle peaks towards main will spot out 2 players and will fall back. Perhaps that is going to trigger a possible rotation as well. You do see that the Sova has joined her on site to back her up, but with the help of this null command, the execute is coming in onto this A site here. However, Sarah goes huge, finds 2 already, and Gamjas is still under heaven, goes and check, gets 2 of her own as well, gets a 3rd to close the round out, and that is going to be an almost flawless round coming in for Celestial, who look like they're on track to make this comeback.
Such a clean round coming out from them. Always does get immediately shut down when pushing out, and that actually just causes I think 3 players from Bhop Celeste were already rotated towards the A site, so all they really needed was those crossfires to support and completely overwhelm Superior with that push. And it's actually caused Superior to be at an economical disadvantage here with sheriffs in hand. Spicy once again is holding that B main push possibly, but a Prowler coming through is going to clear her out just a little bit, going to catch her as well. But that spike is towards the A side as to where Bhop Celeste might, Superior might be going towards. A little bit of jiggle peeking will give Lagamas a little bit of information. Pop flash and peek will not actually come through, but they're just trying to feel things out here. A rotate's actually going to come through from Bhop Celeste. Looks like they know it's going to be A.
Yeah, Alyssa does get that first pick as well, which is going to make things even more difficult for Superior. They are going to be heading up towards A short. They do have the showstopper to try and create some space with. In fact, they have a lot of ultimates to work with, but considering that this is an eco round, they might not really choose to come in. They are going to be trying to go towards mid instead, possibly. Spicy with the operator spots the shoulder, but is going to miss, and unfortunately will give away information as to where exactly she's playing. Oh, that looks really scary from Keltium's perspective. Either way, the Keltium is going to be sending it in towards the B side. Satchel's through, and just like that, they're on site, but they haven't accounted for Alyssa, who finds 2 more before finally being taken down. With 14 seconds left, the plant has to come through as soon as possible, and it looks like Celestial are going to be on a 4v2 retake.
If they do play their trades together, they can possibly make it doable, but they aren't really playing aggressive for this retake, and Sarah is going to get that opener. Now it's left to Moki in a 2v1 situation. Moki going to get that first pick. She does get a 3k and has the horn and everything to work with, but Moki with a 4k, so huge from her. A beautiful clutch coming out for Superior. 11-7 now, and they stopped this momentum that Celestial was growing.
The way she played and managed to isolate those fights, and the quick thinking as well, like, you know, she double peaks with I believe it was Keltium, double peaks with Keltium. The Keltium falls, gets that first trade out, picks up the Phantom upgrade, and just goes ham. You know, it was well played by Moki, but it was also a little bit of a misplay from Celestial, them really giving up those 1v1 duels to a player. You know, I know it's a 1v3, but it's not something that's advisable, especially when you're up against somebody like Moki, who just stays ice cold in that situation. Nevertheless, though, it is going to be that operator which gets picked up and repurposed to Superior's Misa instead, who is going to be the one peeking with it. Watching A main, in fact, to see if anyone's going to be picking out. This time around, though, it seems like Celestial are content to play a little bit more passively.
Oh, Misa's playing with fire here, especially with the operator. The Nightfall is going to catch Lagamas, and the Astra playing towards the A site, and this was all a complete fake though, and it's been completely sold. Bhop Celeste has 4 players towards the A side. That trademark is going to actually alert them that they've just been pranked. It's actually B. So now
she baited.
actually debated. So now they will be getting that plant on the B site. Has so much utility to work with. That showstopper to hold things down. And Bhop Celeste, though, has the Cosmic Divide to possibly cut off backside. Alyssa with a nice opening on this retake. The showstopper not going to connect at all, but her bullets will connect instead. Misa gets one with the operator, two. Now it's a 2v2 situation. The spike is not really planted for lane, and it's actually going to get held. Misa has to actually run towards site, and she doesn't know it's getting diffused. Celestial make it work. Misa now is gonna try and get that one shot. But they do. Spicy actually holds the operator. She wanted to make sure she had that in hand, and Celestial making things a little bit more competitive here.
You know, in that particular round, it seemed like Superior had every single advantage because they had that first pick. They
It
had
looked
the
like they
Cypher
did.
feed. Yeah, and they had so much time to really set up for post plant, but somehow Celestial, they pull things back together, and just like that, the economy is yet again going to be in a bit of a tenacious position right now, always forced to play with a Spectre. At least Misa does have the Tour de Force to work with, so that is a gun that we've seen her go ham on before, something that it will definitely prove to be a danger if Celestial decide to peek into it or make any kind of mistakes. It does seem like a short control is very close to being taken. Aware of that possibility, perhaps Alyssa is going to invest a drone to see if she can spot out a player or two. And talking about Alyssa, remember how she popped her Hunter's Fury 2 rounds ago? She already has it back again.
she's been fragging it out, especially on the B side. She's getting so many multi-kills and a nice tag coming out onto Potato. Oh, that would have been so unfortunate for Superior if their controller was going to get down and out, but Misa does get an opening pick with that Tour de Force and is going to TP out when the 0 point does go towards her, but Lagamis actually holding down A. Getting two with those two peaks from... What? What is Alyssa doing? Alyssa a little bit jumping around, a little bit of trolling, but Lagamis with a 4K is going to possibly get another, but it's up to Murky in a 1v5. She does get one for the 1v5. A Blade Storm available for Lagamis to use. Now in this 2v1, Murky has a Prowler and also a Seize to use, and she is going to use it, going to actually pick off it, but Lidchi though at least gets the trade from Lagamis, and now it's 11-9. Bhop Celeste is slowly making their way to evening things up.
I generally thought Mookie would have a second clutch to her name.
Possibly.
It looked like it, but luckily for Celestial, they managed to pull it together. And like you mentioned, we are on track for an equalizer because that round is going to reset the economy for the side of Superior. They are going to have only those Stingers, one Hero Vandal on Misa to work with, but apart from that, not much in the way of a buy coming in. Yet again, you see this aggressive A main control being fought for, being contested by Celestial, who after realizing that there is nobody around the area, they're happy to just position themselves in an aggressive angle there. However, though, B is going to be where the action is happening, and it's just the Chamber who's really on site. Alyssa is coming in for some backup here, but that suppression is going to force them off the site, and it's going to be the site completely open for the taking if they choose to go for it.
Calcium is going to get spammed just a little bit and is super low HP. Alyssa is going to get tagged just a little bit as well, but the plant will go down for Superior. A 5v5 retake. The Cosmic Divide is going to be placed towards backside, trying to isolate those fights just a little more. And Sarah now making her way towards lane. The Gravity Well is going to pull Misa, and vulnerable two players as well to play off, but Murky and Calcium flurry through. Now it's up to always actually the Sova Alyssa to clutch things out in this 1v2. She does get one, but the flick does not come through. Always with a 3k in the Stinger. A little bit of a half buy coming out from Superior, and they win it out.
Yeah, 12-9, and this is the second game where we're seeing match point being gotten in such a shoddy fashion, for lack of a better word. You do not expect or go in expecting to win rounds with that kind of a buy, but it still works out, and it is going to be a timeout being called by always here for Team Superior to make sure that in this buy round, considering that they are going up against a lower economic commitment coming in from Celestial, that they managed to close it out because they really don't want to. Celestial has proven that if they are given a single inch, they are capable of definitely clawing it back and taking this to overtime. And I think Always really doesn't want that possibility. So this timeout is probably to figure out what exactly they can do to convert this last attack round. And talking about that, right? On the A side, they've seen that Celestial likes to get really aggressive. They go for the 0 point. If they don't spot out anybody, they tend to push out of A main. They don't go past the box, but they still do take some control. And perhaps if they can wait it out, if they can sneak back in, it might be the timing that they really need to make this A side work for them. Because so far in this attacking half, they've had most of their successes on B as opposed to the A side.
Yeah, and even though they've had most of the success towards B, they're deciding to go towards A to maybe, possibly because they have that null command and also the Nightfall to use on this exec. So maybe that's probably why the tour de force is gonna come through for Spicy, trying to get a pick towards mid, but they're not really baiting. They're not really biting to that. A really nice 0 point coming out. It's going to actually force Spicy to fall back just a little bit. That Nightfall is going to come through on the A side, and also the null command in mid going to be actually suppressing at least 3 players on the side of Bhop Celeste. And also the Blade Storm from Legamus going to catch that lurk from Misa. That's going to be absolutely huge for this round. Bhop Celeste now left in a 5v4 for the retake. Lissa is going to drone right in the open. That's so scary. But Spicy now trying to take some space and TP right out into B main as they are making their way onto the A site. And Alyssa is actually going to start holding it. The gravity well is going to come through at the least, but it is halved and can be halved even more. And now they're going to actually get the defuse right through possibly, but Superior reigns superior and they win out 13-9.
Wow, what a final round coming in from the side of both of these teams, but especially Superior, proving that they are indeed a superior party for today. A beautiful game coming in towards the end, and I think that was the closest map that we've had till date. I genuinely think that if Celestial could have had a little bit of a nicer performance on their attacking half, this map could have definitely swung in their favor.
And I mean, from Ascent to... back to Ascent.
And you're muted.
As Saki is trying to
hello.
talk.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you?
Welcome back.
I told you. I was memeing, you know? I was just good like that. Anyways, as I was saying, from Ascent to Ascent to back to Ascent for match 3. Day 1 of Valorant Game Changers Academy showcased how universal a map could be. And Priya, Zach, just to recap it, their clutches came out with Potata. I love that name, by the way. And the 9-3 half hit with Superior leading. I really thought that Priya there had the cast a curse. Priya, did you have the curse? Did you put some kind of spell?
I said 9-3. Gosh.
And anyway, Celestial also garnered the first round of the second half. They forced up, but then Superior was also able to get a thrifty on them. So it was just a back and forth, winning, losing, playing ping pong moment. And at first, I thought, again, Priya, with your caster curse there, Celestial just started picking it up and making a comeback from the 9-3 half, or should I say, the curse. Here we go again. Mokies with the 4 elimination clutch also did a great retake on B side and showed how Superior was able to garner a win. Now, Zach, Priya, I know how this was such an intense game. How are the two of you holding up?
I've had at least 4 heart attacks after watching those clutches. That's what I'd like to say. You talked about Boki's curse, but I think the moment that really had me going was Keltium the fact that she was in a 1v4, the spike was going down, she was towards a mage, she had her entire utility, and she played it to perfection. That was one of the most beautiful plays I've seen today. And you know, Moki's curse is just as significant in a way because that was a thrifty round as well that they managed to convert. So a lot of glitches coming in from the players were superior. But for this for the side of Celestial, I think that a player that I would like to highlight would be Alyssa, especially on that defensive half. She came in so clutch with her utility as well as just raw fragging out a lot of the time. So I think that she definitely deserves some credit there.
And Priya, how about you? What were some highlights that you could think of?
I think piggybacking off that, Alyssa just holding down in logs, getting 3 with her ghost.
Oh god.
And actually ended up winning, almost winning out. Wait, they actually won the round because of that play. And I think everyone check logs after this game. Always make sure you do. But yeah, that's definitely a highlight for me. But also, I just love how well Celeste tried to, like, they had grit and they tried to get the rounds up in their favor, and they almost did. It was 9-13, so it was really, really close. But in the end, they ended up coming out. They ended up losing, but it was a wonderful game at that.
Absolutely. And when you were saying, I remember hearing you cast, you were like, always check logs, always check logs. There's a player named Always. So I was like, does she mean always the player telling me to always check logs? You never want to miss it. Anyways, now after 3 full games of Ascent, all played differently, today's group eliminated 16 teams, in which we will see the remaining 16 teams playing out 2 best of 3s and 1 best of 3 for teams remaining in the top 8 for tomorrow's matches. With the 3 matches played today, I just wanted to highlight the positives again with EQ Cerise versus New Moon White. For the second match, 1 millisecond Wombat versus Knives Out. And for the third match, the closest game of today, Superior versus Bhop Celestial. The 3 teams showed up on stream and are now going to proceed into the bracket. And these 3 teams will be New Moon White, 1 millisecond Wombat, and Superior. I am going to put the 2 of you on the spot here, no pressure. But who were your favorite teams to watch today, and were there any surprises?
I think for me, it was definitely this last game, and Superior was a surprise because I think that both of us were flying in blind. They're a team that hasn't really played together before. Sure, we've heard of some of the players, but as a team, it was a completely debut performance. In Celestial, they have a pretty good track record on this map. Even the ones that they've lost, it's been like 11-13 loss. So I was not expecting them to show up as they had, especially during that first half. That was something that really took me aback, and I was like, wow, holy, what are they doing?
Absolutely. And how about you, Priya?
Definitely that last map as well, because just how close it was and how well these teams were playing. But I also wanted to talk about like EQ Cerise and how well they were playing as well versing New Moon White. They were playing super coordinated, and it was so wonderful to get to watch because they were able to just space their execs really, really well, and also the defense. They were playing just so like just well coordinated as a team. So it was nice to see that from the squad of EQ Cerise.
And I think that was great. All teams played well coordinated. We saw passive plays, we saw aggressive plays, we saw control over mid and all of that. And just because we were on Ascent, everything was universal. Everything was able to be spotlighted from the different teams. And before I let you both go, do you have any predictions or what you want to see tomorrow?
Predictions. I feel like it's a little bit too late for predictions at the moment. We'll definitely be seeing like Soleh and Dark Monkeys rolling through and being on top, so that's something to expect. But I'm just excited to see the new teams that are being formed and playing together, and seeing how they've improved since last Game Changers Academy.
Amazing. And then how about you, Zach?
I agree with Priya. We are gonna definitely be probably seeing Solaire and Dart Monkeys,
Absolutely.
just blazing through. But I also I think that this event is going to be the last official Game Changer tournament coming up ahead of the Series 3. So if there are any teams that perform exceptionally well, it's gonna be something to watch out for in that particular event because the stakes are gonna be really high. There is a seat at an international events at stake. So if there are any highlight players or any particular teams that are standing out in this tournament, they might have a shot at even being picked up ahead of that particular tournament.
Absolutely. And I do agree with you. I want to see Dart Monkey and Solaire going up against each other once again. It's just a narrative and a storyline that we always end up seeing. Maybe we can have a switch up here and there, but that's also something I am expecting and wanting to predict. Any last few words before we all three head out?
Check logs.
Check logs. Always check logs. Always check logs.
This is
Do
something
not
to
cast the
remember.
curse.
Yeah, exactly. 9-3 curse sometimes exists, not all the time though, but I just want to say I'm super excited for tomorrow's games. It will be top 16 and top 8, so I'm so keen to get them started.
And my words are, you want to slay? Let's slay, everyone. Anyways, thank you everyone for tuning in to Valorant Game Changers Academy September edition, presented to you by Verizon and sponsored by AIM Labs. I am your host, Saki, and tomorrow we will meet again with Priya and Zach at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Anyways, bye guys!
Bye-bye.
There's no escape, these thoughts in my mind. The world full of wrongs, it feels so right. Out of the darkness and into the light. Move with momentum, I know what you like.